morning, everyone. Welcome to Mental Detox episode 3. Today's going to be a great day. I'm actually with a greater person. And today we're going to talk more about, to be honest, I don't really know. Fuck it. But this is going to be a great time. It's going to be a great podcast. And I'm hoping that you click the subscribe button. I kind of want to reach 25. I think that would be a blessing to do that. But today my guest is my great friend Josh. And
hello, everyone.
He's such an amazing person. He's super fun, super smart, smarter than I'll ever be. And since I met him, he's just been super great. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. You had a good morning?
Yeah. Was able to actually wake up for my 8 a.m. class. I've missed it the past 2 class days.
That's fun. I never woken up this early before on a Friday morning. It's hard to wake up this early.
I have an 8 o'clock class every day. It's just rough for the sleep schedule.
That's fun. Next semester I have a 9 and a 10, or a 10 and 11. So it's gonna fuck my sleep schedule, but it likes being fun, so it's okay. But I just want to start off this podcast. As I got to know you, I feel like you had a great relationship before the school year started. It was super healthy. It was all the right pieces that most relationships now try to be. How was that relationship?
All in all, it was good. The relationship lasted for 9 months. A good Christian environment. Me and her, together in high school. We went to a small private Christian school, so saw each other very often, and one of the things we did really well was just keep lines of communication open between us. Seeing each other almost every day at school helped, especially to build up to the relationship before dating.
Yeah.
But just keeping an open line of communication, and the way I actually started dating her was, I guess, a little bit more old-fashioned.
Sure, first date, second date, third date.
No, not just asking. It's like you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay.
I actually, when I thought it's okay, I want to do this, I actually went to her father first.
Okay, I did that one time.
Can I date your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had them over for dinner around Christmas time.
Okay.
And literally, we were just exchanging presents, and I got her this nice pair of earrings. So I gave her the box. She opened it up, started to get emotional. Say, "Do you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend?" She's like, "Yes." So.
Oh, that was like a baby proposal.
A little bit, yeah.
So, what made it healthy? Because I feel like nowadays there's a bunch of unhealthy relationships. Just people look for all the wrong things. And I know a lot of relationships are held by the string of sex. And I feel like you're not that type of person that actually does that or that values that as much as other aspects of it. So, what made your relationship so healthy for what it was?
Well, sex was never a option during a relationship. We both wanted to save ourselves for marriage. So just having that mindset at the beginning makes it just so much more healthier, because you're not going after them for their body, right? You're going after them for their personality, their soul, who they are as a person, not just a physical characteristic of them. One of the things, let's see, we also had good just general mindsets. We flowed really well, so it wasn't toxic. We weren't really fighting a whole lot, but we just had general good outlooks on life. It wasn't both me and her wasn't me first personalities. Both of us were willing to work with each other, especially me. I'm able to get along with almost everyone, and that's just kind of how the personality I am. I'm willing to sacrifice my own benefits to help people out, and we were kind of similar in that way. So when one of our arguments is figuring out who gets to do the dishes, that's kind of the relationship it's in. So
Yeah, that's good to hear. I don't know. For me, I understand you on asking the father. I dated this girl freshman year, and her dad was the football coach. And she was like, hey, you need to ask my dad for permission. I'm just like, which one? Because it's your stepdad. And I'm just like, I gotta ask the football coach. And I'm on the football team. How do I do that? So I went to him. I'm like, hey, just wondering, can I date your daughter? And he was super cool about it, because not a lot of guys do that. And I think that if any guy that hears this, you ask her parents for permission, her parents will automatically respect you. Depends on how you come at them. And I feel like that's what happened. Soon to be, I got kicked out of that school, and he became my teacher at the behavior school, which is super funny. I got kicked out for a bunch of things, and I didn't know he was a teacher at a behavior school until I went there, and I'm like, oh, hey, you know me and I know you. We did get all just fine in this class. So it was super nice. I think you did the right thing. I wish dating went back to the old-fashioned way. I feel like now it's so toxic and unhealthy. It's all about sex, or it's all about money, or it's all about how can this person benefit me materialistically, physically, and maybe like 10% emotionally. So that brings me to my next question. How do you think relationships have changed over the years, if you've seen one?
I like history a whole lot. I'm kind of a history nerd in a way. Like me and my roommate Thomas will have just like World War II discussions late at night. So one of the things that I've noticed is kind of a trend is this shift of ethics between like racial ethics and sexual ethics. So like, take for instance, a president speaking in the 1920s, like he could easily get away with saying some racially unsensitive stuff.
Of course.
And, be completely fine. But one hint of scandal and he's basically out of office.
Yeah.
And then it's almost shifted, done a full 180 on each other. Now everyone's really hypersensitive when it comes to
race or anything sexual, anything at all.
But like President Bill Clinton can have sex with his secretary and doesn't get thrown out of office.
Of course. I think that would be great. I think that people have become super sensitive. Freedom of speech is in jeopardy, at least to me it is, because you say one thing, whether it's about black people, anything, whether it's sexual or not, you can't say that. The whole world is mad. And I feel like back then, let's say like not even too old back in 2008, 2010, I was a little kid, but I was still saying fucking shit and all these things. It has changed significantly. I used to tell parents racist jokes when I was a kid, like super racist. Like imagine a 11-year-old coming to you, telling you a racist ass black person joke, and you're fucking like 37. And now I can't really do that, because I used to believe if it makes you laugh, it's okay. Now it's kind of like, can't talk about women that way. These gay people would get mad at you talk about gay people. LGBTQ is not just colors, it's more than just colors in a flag. So I feel like the world is putting like a blockage on freedom of speech.
And I think the rise of just social media and social media platforms in general is a big contributing cause to that, because just having so much information at your fingertips, just almost instantaneous, and it just keeps getting fed to you over and over and over.
Yeah, I think that's why Facebook changed its name to Meta, which it was because that Facebook, they made most of their money on people's hate and people's anger and people's triggering other people on the platform. So he changed the name to this shit called Meta, which is, to me, is like, why would you make it some secret government shit? But I feel like social media has become so evil to where people will say, oh, I don't have Snapchat. I'm just like, oh my gosh, good for you. Like, don't install Snapchat. It's so unhealthy. Because people have gained that power to post and say whatever they want on this platform with no barriers, with nothing. So I used to be that way as a kid. I would go on my Snapchat and I would say some outrageous, obnoxious shit, and people would get mad, but I would just be like, hey, fuck it. So,
and I think that's one of our healthy aspects of my relationship was I had zero social media, and all she had was an Instagram that she barely used.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it'll bring us to our next question. So that if you could change something about how the world is right now, what would it be and why would it be that? Yeah, it's a tough question. You really gotta dig deep.
Yeah, I gotta really think about like what angers me a little bit in the world at the moment.
I think what angers me the most is the sensitivity. For example, yesterday I just saw a post. I saw something. It was, I think, homophobic people. No, not homophobic. I'm sorry, gay people trying to shut down Michael Myers for killing gay people. And it was just one of the 1,000 things that kind of irritate me to where this is a fucking fictional, not real character in the movie killing people. Not just gay people, but everyone. You know, you see Michael Myers, you're gonna die. Like, whether you fucking have a dick and a white dick or whether you're not gay, you're gonna still die. So I feel like the sensitivity about some things are just outrageously annoying to where if I had to change it to where, hey, show what he said this. Fuck it. You know, you don't know him. Like, you don't even come close to interacting with this person that said it. So why does it bother you so much that he said this, or this fictional character in a movie that a guy writes a script for has this in his script? And I feel like if I could change it to as back in 2010, we have TSA, but we don't have freedom. But we have freedom of speech as well. I think that would be super fun, super better. It will calm down the level of emotional, sensitive little bitches in the world. No offense, but it is what it is. So, do you know what you would change?
I think we need more of a return just of more simple common sense in a lot of aspects.
I think we need Trump back. I think we need Trump back.
Let's not go into election results, okay?
Yeah.
No, but just to return to like common sense and common decency, especially you look up and it's so easy to get into just like pornography and just stuff we really don't need to be divulging into, and that's kind of just.
Well, it's sinful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not just bad for our health or bad for us. When us as servants of God, at least me and you, when we talk about pornography or drug abuse or lustful desires, it's not a good image that we're making of ourselves. And we gotta think about the person that created us and why he create us. You know. So I feel like we do need to change and work on that.
Yeah, I just hate how big of a market there is for it.
I don't know why it's free.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be a lustful person back then, a few years ago. But let me tell you, browsers, $15.99, I will never pay that. You know, no matter what. Okay, it's porn, but I wouldn't pay $15.99 to watch it. Yeah, but you see Pornhub now, and Pornhub is free. And Pornhub is super easy to reach. If you're a kid and you see this, don't search it up. It's as bad as 2 girls, 1 cup. And don't search it out of either. But I feel like there's a bunch of bad in the world that is at the hands of us that isn't good for us to be able to get to so easily. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it just harkens back to we have everything at our fingertips.
Yeah.
There's a tool for basically everything in life. Like, this phone is a tool. It has great use, it has great purpose, but if you use a tool wrong, it becomes harmful to you.
Exactly, but we have used it wrong. Look at your phone. You could touch it, you could play games on it, you could do this and do that. 25 years ago, a phone was some like shoe on the wall with a cord to it. You can't do nothing on it but call and talk to people, which is made for it. And now it's like, oh, I could watch porn on this, I could buy shit off Amazon on this, I could cheat on this, I could do all these things on this, and it's okay. So I feel like it's all fucked up. I feel like people think that us as humans are so intelligent and so good, but we are stupid individuals when it comes to, oh, everything's at our power, our fingertips, we can do whatever we want. And then we're just creating all these bad things out of what we do.
Yeah, it's like a God complex in ways.
But we're not God.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's super, super messed up. But I think Trump will fix that. No, I'm not into politics. I hate inflation. Which, if you haven't seen gas prices, it's fucking horrible. I don't have the money to pay that. I can barely pay my fucking school fees. But that brings me to another question that, to be honest, I don't even know what I want to ask you yet. So, if we talk about right now in the country, what place do you think has the best economy, has the best rules, has the best environment? Because I know damn sure it's not America.
That is a very large discussion, which I don't know if I'll be able to answer as well, because especially, like, one of the things you have to consider is America is, like, globally probably the top country.
Yeah,
just
but we are probably economics, but we may be, no offense, like, I'm not trying to be mean towards America, I live here, but we are probably the dumbest people with the most freedom that make the dumbest mistakes. So if we talk about like mass shootings, we probably have the most mass shootings out of every country. We probably have the most, well, we got a fucked up president. We are probably like the most, I don't know how to describe it. With all the power that we have, it's not good for us to have it. Not saying we should be like fucking communism and have no freedom, but we should have boundaries and rules and barriers.
Which we do, it just gets abused a lot of times.
Abused as fuck.
I think for America, one of the things that could probably help a whole lot more is just having more representation in a lot of ways, different kind of ideological and like worldview representations, because here in America it's very much dividing line, like Democratic Republican. While if you look at like just the UK, for example, they have like, I don't know how many parties, but it's just very diverse political party wise.
I want them to care about the people more. You know, when it was the Biden and Trump election, it was always no one likes Biden, but a lot of people don't like Trump. Why are we choosing between two people that us as the people that they're going to take care of and they're going to have control over? Why should we choose between them? Why shouldn't we have someone that we can all agree with to be like, hey, this guy's a good person, I think that he should be our president, and go from there. Instead of, no, we have one piece of shit right here, and then we have another piece of shit right here, and they're both pieces of shit. What piece of shit smells better? And I think that's how our world operates, as well as we don't have, like, we give all of our power to one person, a human, that is probably just as old as my grandma. And we're just like, why do we feel comfortable doing this? You know, I don't think we should do that, but I think we should have, like, some type of government, just not a president that none of us like. And we should have another, maybe, electoral party. So,
one of the things that I just thought about, it's just like you saw my little happy dance. We need to, I think, set term limits on like senators and representatives, because the whole purpose of the government that's been shifted since like the 1800s going into the 1900s was people would come, represent their state, and then go back home. It wasn't a full-time job. It was, okay, I've been elected, I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna go back and run the shop, right? Nowadays, it's full-blown careers. You have like Bernie Sanders, who's been there for who knows how long.
He'll die soon. He'll be okay.
No, it's made full-blown careers, and I feel that they just completely lose track with the culture. If you have someone who's been living in the culture, living with how bad the politics are, they can come in. It's like, hey, I'm gonna like be a representative for 2 or maybe 6 years, however it is, and then go back home. Once they get in there, it's all right, free money. I'll stay here as long as I want. Go back home, go work. Like, do normal stuff, right? I don't think it's healthy for a government at all.
I feel like they treat the government more as like a game. You know, they don't take it as serious as some people should. But we actually talk about what are we talking about. We'll talk about real life, the world, our country, the prices of produce, the prices of gas, the effect on humans, and how we move and live every single day, such as the COVID vaccine, to where if you don't have it, you're fired, you know? It's things like that we're just like, we don't take as serious as we should, to where, okay, you're taking this person's way to support their family, way to support themselves and live away for something you probably don't do yourself, and it's perfectly okay. Which, one, do I have the COVID vaccine? Half of it. I'll probably get the second one. Not supporting it, guys, but for my grandma, you know, the way I see it is, you don't think of yourself, you think of others, the older people. If we have elderlies in our family, they are more vulnerable to getting sick, so that's why I will get the vaccine. But other than that, it's just like, why are you forcing it upon us, taking away our normal everyday needs for something that they don't do themselves?
My father has a saying, and you know, he's the smartest man I know. PhD, he's been working just big positions all of his life, and he says, I believe in free people and free markets. We need more of that.
Oh yeah, of course. So I am gonna wrap this up. I feel like this has been a nice conversation with you. The last question I have before we do end is, if you could give advice to the people watching this right now, what would it be?
Think before you speak. I think a lot of ways, especially in how advanced we are, like social media wise, and especially for relationships. The Bible says that our tongue is the most dangerous weapon we have. So, before you just say anything, think about it. Is this helpful in any way? Is this building somebody up, or is these words meant to tear down and destroy? If it's those latter two, then just don't say it. It's the old saying, if you have nothing good to say, then don't say anything at all.
Yep. Something my dad told me to go on top of that was, I used to be a very emotional and outgoing person with my emotions, and my dad would tell me, 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. To where someone or something could ruin your whole day, and that's just 10%. But that 90% is how you take that and go about your day. So I think that could go good with think before you speak, as well as think before you do, because someone could say something mean to you, or you could say something mean or bad, and or do something physically bad, and then that creates a whole bad day.
And like, especially if it's coming at you, what's your response to that? It's like, I don't know, like you look at football, if an opposing player like pushes you and then you push back, you get the penalty, right?
So with basketball, you both get flagrants 1 and 2. So with that said, that is going to be Mental Detox episode 3. I hope everyone tunes in next week for episode 4. I have a great person coming next week to speak on the gospel and get closer to God, and to explain just why God is so great next week. I think that's going to be super fun and super great. So with that said, toodles.